What is up, fishing addicts? On today's video we'll be talking about which are the best swim baits for beginners. I mean, when I say beginners for swim bait fishing. And before I start on that, I just want to remind you guys, those of you who are new to my channel, I do have a giveaway coming up. Well, it's actually still going on. I will leave the link below in the description. I am giving away a reel, mid-grade reel. For the second winner, it will be a couple of swim baits, and for the third winner, it will be crankbait, some lures. I'll put something together, but that giveaway is still on. Unfortunately, I did not reach 1,000 subscribers by last month, end of, I guess it was beginning of May, but I was gonna give away a high-end reel, so now we're downgraded to mid-grade, and that will not change. Like I have promised. Look into the video for more information over the requirements, and that's it. And let's get to the swim baits. Well, I'm gonna start by letting you guys know how I came up with it. The way I was planning on is, I was thinking about actually, was all the money that I spend, and most of the lures are pretty complicated to use, or you need a swim bait rod. Well, and then I said, I wish someone made a swim bait, which is a starter swim bait kit or whatever. So I came up with it while I was fishing with that's it, we're going fishing the other day, and he just posted his video. So I will leave that I will leave the link to his video down below in the comment section, and go check it out. We did have a blast. We caught maybe like between two of us, I would say 20 plus. Well, we caught 20 plus fish, but amongst I caught maybe close to 7-8 fish, and he did catch a little bit more than me, but I got bigger size because I was just solely throwing swim baits. And that's when I had the epiphany, saying like, hey, you can get a swim bait like this with a great hookup ratio. Instead of I spend 3 times more getting this, which it does cast pretty well. You can use it without any special rod, but the hookup ratio horrible, durability horrible. I mean, if I was to rate this lure out of 5, I would have given it 1.5. Like I said, overpriced for very poor quality lure. I mean, it has great colors, great everything. I used it a couple of times. You cannot fish it slow. The tail does not move. It moves barely, but other than that, it's pretty okay. But let's get to the baits. Number 1 would be from Savage Gear 3D Bluegill. I originally was very skeptical about buying these because I read all those negative reviews, how they're falling apart after a fish or two, and I'll tell you what, guys, the one that I've been using the most, it's actually this one, the crappie. I have only caught 1 fish on this one, and for the past 3 weeks that I've been fishing with this fish probably easy has 20 fish on it, and the eyes did not fall off. Pretty much everything is intact, except a couple of times I smacked it on the wall, and I overcasted it with my rod, hit the bushes, and over here it's a little bit scratched up. But for a lure that I pay $7.99 in Dick's, I mean, it's well worth it. I mean, I have crankbaits there, $15. So getting a swim bait with great hookup ratio, I do have to do some mods. I've been fishing it enough to figure out a couple of things, but just out of the box fishing it, it will catch you anywhere between pound to 4.5 pounds, almost 5 pounds. I think the biggest I have on this one was $4.97. Well, like I said, great bait. If you're just beginner, um, if you want to try out the swim bait game, this is the one to go. You can use it with any of your jig rods, or I personally throw it on a frog rod or my regular jig rods, which it's not that heavy. I forgot how heavy it was, but like I said, I think it's less than an ounce. I think it was 5/8 or something like that. But you can use it even with the crankbait rod. It's not that heavy. You might have to uh, cast it gently, not power cast. But like I said, number one, no questions asked. I love it. I will get dozen of. Actually, I have ordered 2 more of these. And number two, this is absolutely one of my favorites. Biggest bass I caught on this one was it was four something. I'm not quite sure how big was it, but I will leave the video of the fish down in the description. That I was using them and I was recording when I was fishing with John. For some reason I did not record, but I love it. I mean, you can fish this one dead slow. I mean, dead slow, and you will have this action always. I mean, it's an amazing lure. Unfortunately, I love everything about it, and it already comes scented, so I don't have to apply. Well, I didn't have to apply any scent to it. I usually apply a little bit liquid mayhem on their tails. Um, but I wish they made it just a little bit heavier. I mean, other than that, this lure is amazing. I have caught dozens of fish, not as many as this one because I didn't use it that much. It's weedless. It goes through weeds pretty well when you put the hook on top. I mean, I love fishing it. I mean, it's amazing how the way they hit this swim baits, and it's just big fish most of the time. The small fish do bite it. The hookup ratio, it's not as good as the 3D gill or crappie, simply because of the bottom hook. That's why this lure is number two, because of the hookup ratio. If it's a 2 pounder or pound and a half, depending where they attack it, you will get it. But if it's less than, if it's a small baby, very difficult. Usually they'll bite it on the back end, and I will replace this hook. Actually, it's a pretty good hook, but I think I will go with a little bit bigger hook. See if that's gonna make a difference. But I will have a review for these lures after the summer. I do want to fish them for a little bit while. And for number three, this lure, I believe I paid $4.99 or $5.99, and it is absolutely amazing. The biggest fish I have on this is 4+. The smallest bass that I caught on KDS lures, it's just a little bit, a tiny bit over a pound. I mean, these things are amazing for a lure that's less than $10 for a swim bait. It is amazing. And action wise, um, you can slow fish it, but you cannot slow down as much as on the Savage Gear. On Savage Gear, you can fish these um, very slow. This one, you can fish it dead slow. I mean, when I say dead slow, it's barely cranking, and you still get the tail action. On this one, since I don't know, maybe the tail, if it was a little bit bigger, it will make a difference. But you have to fish it tiny little bit faster to get the movements. And the other thing about the Savage Gear is these are great for bed fishing. If, let's say, you cast it, you pitch it, and you're swimming it, and when it comes right by the bed, you can stop it. This thing will fall straight like this, and it will stay. I mean, I was impressed. I thought it was just one-time thing, and I was fishing this one, and I kept on doing it on a very clear lake by me. It was like a bunch of beds stacked up, and I was just pitching it, and I'll go by the bed and I'll just dead stop it, and it'll just fall, and it'll just stay there just like this, and I'll just twitch it, see if it's gonna fall. It did not fall. It just stayed just like this, and when the fish came by it, I just twitched it, and they'll just bite it. And I used to get them on the top hook, which is pretty good, and it is amazing. Usually, I was having misses on this because they didn't have the top hook. But most of the time, these are pretty good. You do get a big hookup ratio. The fish don't chew on this as much as they chew on this. I mean, I was fishing with 50-pound braid to 20-pound fluoro, maybe I would say 12 to 14 inches leader, 20-pound fluorocarbon, and you can, I mean, what I usually do is, and when they start nibbing on it, I'll let them eat it for a couple of minutes, just like a Texas rig. I did not set the hook right away if I know if it's a small fish, because usually small fish will try to nib at it, and a big fish just grabs it and takes off with it. I have gotten that part uh, nailed down, guys. So like I said, this one, it's amazing. I was very surprised, so I tried it on the 4D Savage gear. This one does the absolutely same thing. It will not, once you stop it on the water, it just stays like this, and you can slowly hop it on the bottom, and it does not roll over. So I was very impressed with that. And for number 3, KDS, price wise, amazing. You do have to use a little bit heavier rod, maybe your punching rod or something like that, if you have one. If you don't have one, frog rod, I did use it on my um, everything rod, which is 7-foot medium heavy, and I did not have any problems. I did not break my rod. Only thing is, I did not power cast this. I did cast it, but no power cast. When I was using this one, I kind of power cast it, but then I was fishing with 12-pound fluoro, so I didn't want to take the chance of overcasting somewhere where I do not supposed to. Well, guys, I hope these tips help out. And if you ask me, why not a HUD? Why not this? Why not a glide bait? And I do have glide baits, and I do have glide bait. Did not make my list because usually to get a good action, I did have to use my swim bait rod. It's a little bit heavy, and well, I was using my frog rod. That's a different video. I'll explain it after I make a couple of fishing videos. But not very easy to use, and almost like a jerkbait, but not quite right. You have to have a little bit more fishing experience and know what your lures are doing. And for the paddle tail, which I do not know where in the heck are they. There we go. God, I lost my other set. So paddle tails, hookup ratio, not very good. I've tried using this one. You have to power fish it. That tail will not move. Hookup ratio, I never had a bite on this. Seems pretty weedless. I never had any issues with the weeds, but I could not fish it slow, and I gave up on it. Try for muskie, try for bass. It was not all there. However, I did toss a HUD that pretty much all my swimbait friends are big HUD fans. You do get a good tail action, but if I'm a beginner, $30 for a lure that I might lose, which I know I will lose, it's a lot of money. And pretty much you need a swimbait rod to use those. They are a little bit heavy, which I like. Good big plus for them, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a way to modify this to be a little bit heavy. Actually, I do have an idea, but I don't want to do it. I want to see, I will ask around how they make these heavier But that's another video. Like I said, I will do a research and a lot of digging through. I love reading about fishing stuff, articles, bass baits, and modifications, and all that good stuff. I hope this video helps you guys out. And if you are looking to get into swim baits and you just don't want to spend tons of money on new rod, reel, and all that, like I said, you can just go with Savage Gear 3D series or 4D. You will not be disappointed. I mean, not only they catch big fish, but they do catch small ones too for some reason. Which catching a fish on a swim bait, it's pretty amazing. It's a whole new world out there. I mean, if you can fish it with braid, fish it with braid, and just add a little bit of not too long of a line, but a little bit of short one, and the bites are amazing. I mean, it opens up a whole new world, guys. I believe the video it's getting way too long, and that's it, guys. I will catch you on the next one.